Welcome to the deep dive. If you're here, it's probably because you're trying to make sense of just the digital minefield of online fraud.
It really is a minefield.
And you don't need another list of warnings. You need a blueprint, something to protect your money right now. And that's our mission today. We've tried to process this huge, overwhelming landscape to find the most critical nuggets of knowledge.
And when we talk about this landscape, we are talking about a crisis of scale.
Yeah.
I mean, the source material, it doesn't just show a few bad actors. It's a terrifying ecosystem.
An ecosystem, yeah.
We're dealing with everything from, thousands of little fake product sales happening every hour, all the way up to these massive international operations.
With hacking, social engineering, all of it.
And even, chillingly, some really advanced deepfake tech.
The sheer volume is what gets me. But what's really illuminating is that, well, despite all the crazy tech they're using, the basic strategy is it's actually ancient.
It is. It really is. The primary tactic for nearly every scammer, whether they're in a call center or using AI, is just impersonation.
Impersonation.
They pretend to be a trusted authority, a profitable company, a loved one. And once they have that false identity, they just exploit one of three human impulses: fear, greed, or affection.
And the whole goal is just get your money out of your account.
By any means necessary. That's it.
Okay, let's unpack that. Let's start with the one that feels most immediate, which is intimidation. The classic call center gangs, they're still a huge problem.
A huge problem. And they thrive on panic. They call you, they impersonate someone you trust, the government, the police, your bank's fraud department.
So the moment you answer, you're already in a crisis.
Exactly. A manufactured crisis. They skip right past hello and tell you you're involved in, illegal package shipping, or that your account is about to be seized for money laundering.
And then they apply this impossible pressure.
Impossible pressure. They'll demand you report to a police station, 100 miles away immediately, or you'll be arrested. It's all about making you act irrationally.
But wait, if they're pretending to be the police, wouldn't the police just mail you a warrant or something? Why do people fall for that demand to transfer money?
Because the transfer is presented as the only solution, the only way out of the impossible deadline they just gave you.
So it's a safety measure.
Call it a safety measure. Transfer all your funds to an inspection account. Sometimes they call it a safe account.
Yeah.
To prove your innocence. And that transfer is, of course,
the point of no return.
Exactly.
So that's the classic intimidation. But impersonation is moving beyond just a shaky phone line now. It's getting really high-tech.
This is the part that's most concerning, I think. Scammers are creating these hyper-realistic digital copies of people. They can impersonate celebrities or even your friends using fake social media accounts to ask for investments or, loans.
There was that really shocking example in the source material, the international case.
Oh, yeah.
A victim lost 25 million Thai baht, which is millions of dollars, after being tricked by a scammer using deepfake AI.
And who they were impersonating is the incredible part.
The actor Keanu Reeves. On a FaceTime call.
On a FaceTime call. So it wasn't just a bad voice recording. It was visual. It looked like him. It sounded like him. They built this irrefutable trust.
Wow.
And it happens with friends, too. They'll call, use confusing language until you accidentally give them a detail about your real friend, and then they use that as proof before asking for an urgent loan.
So the defense there seems pretty simple, but it's crucial.
It is.
If a friend asks for money, you have to call them back directly on a number you already have for them, not the one that just called you.
That direct, low-tech check is your firewall, which brings us to the next layer of this, the link lures. Phishing and hacking.
Right. And we should probably define those quickly.
Good idea. So phishing is when they're trying to get your personal data passwords, bank info, through fake emails or texts. Hacking is when they actually get into your account after they have that data.
And they use names you trust, right? Airlines, banks, government agencies sending you an SMS with a malicious link.
And the URL trickery it's rampant. They know we glance quickly. The source is a great example. A fake health ministry site used www.moeepa.in.t.
Instead of mof.go.t, just one letter off.
Just one letter. Or, and this is even sneakier, they'll use characters like R and N right next to each other because, at a glance, R looks like the letter M.
That's insidious.
It is. A really practical tip from the sources is to use a tool like WHOIS.
WHOIS.
Yeah. You can check who registered a website and where. If a site claiming to be your local bank is suddenly registered in some high-risk country overseas,
And a massive red flag.
a massive red flag, just close the tab.
Okay, so we've covered fear. Let's pivot to the other side of the coin. The schemes that exploit our greed. Unrealistic investment promises.
These are often the most devastating financially, the investment and pyramid schemes. They promise massive, guaranteed returns from a small investment in something complicated like crypto or forex trading.
And they often use celebrity photos to look legit.
All the time. Stolen photos to build that false credibility.
But there has to be a screaming red flag. What is the #1 giveaway?
It really boils down to one simple question. Where are you sending your money?
Okay.
The single biggest giveaway that this is a scam is if they ask you to transfer investment money to a personal bank account, an individual's name, not a registered company.
No legitimate firm would do that.
Never. And if they don't have a real physical office you can find, just assume it's fraud.
And then there are the classic pyramid schemes. They don't even pretend to have a real product.
Exactly. They're recruitment machines. Their whole business is enrolling new members, and they use the new money to pay the early investors until the whole thing collapses.
If they're selling the membership more than the product.
You're in a chain scheme.
Okay, let's talk about the scams that prey on vulnerability. People who just desperately need a job or a loan.
Fake online jobs are everywhere, and they're insidious. They offer high commissions for simple tasks, liking posts, sharing videos on TikTok. They even pay you a little at first to build trust.
And what's the catch?
The catch is, they eventually demand guarantee money or deposits to unlock the higher-paying tasks. Once you send a big deposit,
They disappear.
they vanish. And on the extreme end, you have these overseas job scams.
Which are just horrific.
They're terrifying. They advertise high-paying jobs abroad, but they're traps. Victims get trafficked, forced into illegal work, virtual servitude. It's a nightmare rooted in economic desperation.
We also see the loan and prize scams.
Right, they promise a low-interest loan or say you've won a huge prize, but then they demand upfront fees for contracts, for processing, for customs.
And you're so desperate for the loan or excited about the prize you pay it.
You pay it, and the money never arrives, and the fee is gone forever.
And finally, the one that probably hits almost everyone. The high-volume, low-value stuff. Fake online sales.
It's one of the most reported schemes. The individual losses might be smaller, but it's constant. The tactics are simple. They just don't deliver the goods, or they send you something that's wildly not as advertised.
Right. And a quick warning on QR codes. That feels like a tricky one.
It is. Scammers trick you into scanning a QR code, saying it's for a refund you're about to receive. But the code is actually programmed to initiate a transfer from your account to theirs.
You think you're receiving money, but you're actually sending it.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've laid out this tidal wave of deception. Now, the most important part, the actionable takeaways. What is the fundamental mindset for prevention?
The sources really emphasize one core defense. They call it SATI, which is sort of like focused awareness, critical thinking in the moment.
A mandatory pause.
A mandatory pause. Always question if the information you're getting is real or suspicious. If you have any doubt, just end the contact immediately. Your bank will never, ever call you demanding a secret urgent transfer.
And that leads to a huge lesson. Never, ever use the contact info the potential scammer gives you.
Absolutely not. That phone number is rigged. If someone calls claiming to be from your bank, hang up. Then go to the bank's official website, find their public number, and call them back directly.
On the tech side, password hygiene is key.
Non-negotiable. Use long, complex passwords, at least 12 characters, and make them unique for every single account. If you can't remember them all, get a good password manager.
Let's spend a second on the most dangerous technical scam right now, remote access fraud.
This is critical, especially for Android users. Criminals trick you into installing apps from outside the official app stores, these .apo files. They often exploit something called the Android Accessibility Service.
Which is meant to help people with disabilities.
Right, but by granting those permissions, you are literally giving this scammer invisible hands to control your phone. They can watch you type your passwords, they can transfer money, and you won't know until it's too late.
So if you realize this is happening, you see your cursor moving on its own, what's the immediate life-saving response?
You have to sever the connection. Instantly, no matter what the scammer is telling you on the phone, power off the device, pull out the SIM card, or just hit airplane mode.
Cut the digital umbilical cord.
You have to. Then contact your bank from a different secure device.
And finally, if the worst happens, if you do get scammed, what's the 3-step process?
First, gather evidence. All the chat logs, transfer slips, everything. Second, file a police report immediately. And third, most critically, notify your bank.
Immediately.
Immediately. You have to try and get them to freeze the scammer's account before the money is moved again. Time is everything.
The reality is these threats are just constantly evolving.
They are. And that's why knowing the core strategies, impersonation, urgency, unrealistic promises, is your best defense. Knowledge is only valuable when you actually apply it.
Right. And since even your friends can be spoofed, the ultimate responsibility really falls on you, the individual, to confirm reality. So here's a final thought for you to take away. If you get an urgent text from a friend asking for money, don't just text back, "Is this really you?" Don't reply at all. Call them directly on the number you have saved for them. Their account might already be hacked. So what other simple, low-tech verification steps could you build into your daily routine to defeat high-tech fraud?